Hey, what's up, guys? It's Pink Blanco here. So, in this course 2, what I'm going to be doing for you guys is breaking down this entire mix for this song called AP and Patek by one of the artists I work with. His name is Taffy. So, definitely check him out at Taffy Mapofu. Fire as fuck. But, anyways, I'll play the song for you, just like the last episode, and so you can get a feel for it. And then after, I'm just gonna break down and everything I did to this mix and how I got it to sound like how it did. So here we go from the top. Enjoy, guys.
You cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence, no. Yeah, you cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence. You cannot sauce like this. Yeah. Flood my wrist with baguettes. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. Yeah. Over coast to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a Patek. Keep a bag full of meds. Yeah. You cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence. You cannot sauce like this. Yeah. Dano Whipple ran on ya. Yo, I'm sorry. Better get your money, yeah. I need a bag today. Watch them, my nigga don't graduate. My parents pissed, cause they got no one to come and congratulate. I sent my ass in the studio, made me some mess on that Saturday. I keep them toes on the ground, they will never see me hesitate. Jealousy can turn you into anything. Look at what it did to me. I'ma put my city on the map. Like my homes, I'm making history. If you're not family, please get out my way. Niggas want problems, got no time for drama. I pull out the chopper like it's GTA. We living in hell, I ain't scared to send a nigga straight to heaven. Knew this was for me ever since 7. Niggas thinking I'ma stop for a second. Nigga, you better forget it. Yeah. Flood my wrist with baguettes. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. Yeah. Over coast to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a Patek. Keep a bag full of meds. Yeah. You cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence. You cannot sauce like this. Yeah. Dano Whipple ran on ya. Yo, I'm sorry. Better get your money, yeah.
Alright, so hopefully you guys fuck with it. So let's get into the intro. So this little part right here, let's get into how I got it to sound like that.
You cannot drip like.
It almost sounds kind of like a walkie-talkie effect almost, with lots of effects on it. Reverbs, delays, whole bunch of stuff on it. So let's check out everything that went into this intro.
I drip like this. You ain't got confidence, no. Yeah, you cannot drip like this.
So the first thing, let's check out. So I have an EQ, just kind of a normal EQ, cut out around 112, and then just did some sweeping that I taught you in the first episode, and just took away all the bad frequencies that did not sound good. And then here on the second one, a de-esser, exactly like the mixing chain I taught you guys in the first one, and just took away those harsh S sounds. And then so this is a multi-band compressor. So I like to add, I'll link you guys to a video. It's really confusing to understand, but it's basically an EQ and a compressor combined. So you get to pick what frequencies you want to compress instead of compressing the entire vocal like a regular compressor. This one will allow you to compress a certain frequency to get more into advanced techniques. But I use this preset all the time. It's in the FabFilters, and it's under vocals and then single vocal enhancement. And what that does is it basically just adds a lot of high end to the vocal, but it's compressing it at the same time, so it's keeping it not too crazy, not too harsh, and cleaning it up if it does get too harsh. I like adding high end a lot with multiband just for that matter. So yeah, I'll just boost around the high end and just have it.
You cannot drip like this.
Like you see how it's dipping down when it gets too harsh, but it's still there, so it's still adding it.
You cannot drip like this.
So it just adds a nice crisp, clean high end to that. And then after that, I have just a regular compressor that's going to compress the entire vocal, just at a -25 threshold, 2-to-1 ratio, kind of quick attack, a little bit medium release. Let's see how much dB that's doing.
I drip like this. You ain't got confidence.
So yeah, just very light compression right there. Not that much, as you could tell, it only was doing -2 dB of compression. And then I went to the chorus. Definitely love this thing just for adding a nice clean sheen to the high end. It just gives a nice little modern touch to it that I really like a lot. And I use it on almost all the vocals. Honestly, I use it on stacks, mains, intros. If I want a cool effect, I'll dial it up more with this dry wet knob. All that does is just the more up you go, the more the effect is going to be applied. And dry wet, it's going to be on almost every plugin. Every plugin will have a dry wet mostly. And I just like that around 20 just because it sounds nice to me. And then I think this is an EQ. Yeah. So I also added around 3K. Took out around 700. And then added around 300 just to give it more body. And that's just me just messing around with it. So this right here is the exact same thing as this. And then this is the secret to the intro. So this is how I got it to have the walkie-talkie effect to give it kind of that just a nice little intro feel to it. So I added a filter and then took away all the way up to 10K hertz, and then I added another filter and then took away around like 350. So I'm taking away some high end and then some low end just to give it that walkie-talkie effect. And then that is a secret to how to get that. And then if I wanted to go up on it a little more, it's going to be a little bit more drastic. So let's hear what that sounds like.
Like this, you ain't got confidence, no. Yeah, you cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence. You cannot sauce like this. Yeah.
Perfect. And then I just have a lot of reverb, a lot of delays. I've created a quarter note delay, then a 16th note delay. Just to have two different types of delays to switch it up. I like doing that a lot. So then now let's get into the hook. So I believe it's probably a lot of the same stuff on the intro. Let's check it out. Yeah, a lot of the same stuff. I just copied and pasted and tweaked it just a little bit. And I was just going for a nice and clean vocal for this one. And then I added a lot of reverb and delays to that to get it to sound just more angelic and a little bit more pleasant to the ears.
Flood my wrist with baguettes. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. Went from coast to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a Protect. Keep a backwood full of meds. You cannot drip like this. You ain't got confidence. You cannot sauce like this. Yeah. Daniel Whipple ran on you're sorry.
Perfect. Yeah, that sounds amazing to me. And then the verse is the exact same thing as the hook. Yeah, just copied. I dialed down on the delays and reverb just a little bit to make the verse not so crowded and drawn out. I wanted the verse to sound a little bit cleaner So let's hear how that goes like into the hook then.
Better get your money, yeah. I need it back today. Watch them, my nigga don't graduate.
Because with delays, you don't want too much delays because then it starts going into each other and just creating this really drawn out, horrible sounding mess because the delays just keep delaying into the delays. And then after a couple seconds, it just starts to sound like a mess. So definitely be careful on adding just too much stuff. It's definitely not good. And
watch them, my nigga don't graduate. My parents pee.
And definitely just keep everything in moderation. And if it sounds good, it is good. And then let's go into the bridge part.
If you're not family, please get out my way. Niggas want problems, got no time for drama. I pull out the chopper like it's GTA. We living in hell, I ain't scared to send a nigga straight to heaven. Knew this was for me ever since 7.
So this is exactly like the intro, how I did that. That's how I got it to sound kind of like that nice little walkie-talkie effect. Is just with the filters, just take it away high and then take it away low. And then adding a little bit more reverb and delays because I wanted it to be more spacey and trippy sounding. If that makes sense.
If you're not family, please get out my way. Niggas want problems, got no time for drama.
And then what I've been doing with these vocals, since it's all the same voice almost, I just been copying and pasting because it's just easier for me and it sounds good as fuck too. So now it doesn't have to be confusing or complicated or hard. You can do things to make it easier for you. And just finding little things like that is definitely a must. And let's check out these yeahs.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So same thing here. I did the filters, took away some high and took away some low just to, because when you do that, it separates it from the main vocals. Meaning, I'm trying to think of how to word it. It's giving it its own space, so it's not crowding or intruding with the main vocals. And it also just sounds really nice in the backgrounds too.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Flood my wrist with.
And then I added a lot of reverbs on those too because I wanted them to be super spacey, super trippy sounding.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And then it's the exact same mixing chord. It's the exact mixing. It's the exact same mixing as the main vocals. And then here we have the hooks, stacks. So like I said in the last course, to record stacks for your hook just to make it sound more full and wide. That's what we did here for this one too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Flood my wrist with big gas. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex.
And then I panned them to the left.
Froze, big gas, froze on.
Panned one to the left and one to the right to give it width. And then let's see, and then I mixed them both at the same time just because they could, because they're going to be the exact same vocal. So I took away some low end to separate it from the main vocal that it's with and to make it not so muddy and not so much stuff crowding those low frequencies. And then the exact same stuff, but I'm pretty sure I added more compression on it. Let's see. No, I didn't. So it's the exact same thing, just took away some low and took away some highs. But I didn't put as much reverb on the stacks because I didn't want it to start getting too much reverb and sounding messy. So I kind of just kept them clean and simple and just panned them, really.
Nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. Went from coach to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a pate.
And then here are some other stacks below those two.
Flood my wrist with big gas. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck.
So these ones are a little bit more higher toned. So I did put more reverb on them because they were just going to be louder. And I really liked the way the reverb sounded with the high voice. And then same thing, took away some low end, took away some high. And then I probably should have added more chorus onto it to give it a more trippy effect. Let's hear how that sounds. I just added more because I turned up the wetness. So let's hear.
Flood my wrist with big gas. Froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's put some more reverb on it, and then let's hear it with the song.
On my wrist with the gas, froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. With a coach to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a Patek. Keep a bad wolf.
Yeah, I like that a lot. The key of those is you're not supposed to hear them as much as you're supposed to feel them. And I felt them. That was perfect. And the ad-libs, the funnest part. So, let's hear these ad-libs.
Shit. Yeah. Whoa. No. No.
Ooh, those are perfect. I fuck with those. So we got the same EQ on those. The same de-essing. The same vocal enhancement. And for the ad-libs, I always do more compression for the ad-libs to make him sit back in the mix a little more. Because the more compressed it's going to be, the more upfront it's going to be. So then I turn him down. And then it's going to give its own space because it's going to have a different compression on it. And we want those ad-libs to stand out, definitely. And then I added a lot more chorus on it to give it a more trippy Travis Scott kind of effect, if you want to call it that. And then I did the filter. So I always, on my ad-libs, take out a lot of the low end. So I'll cut up to around like 500 to give it that kind of thin sounding Travis Scott, Migos, like Quavo. He'd be using that all the time in his ad-libs. And then reverb all the way up. So much reverb on my ad-libs and so much delays too. And that's the secret. And then just compression. I use more compression on my ad-libs. Just because it makes it sound, I don't know, I just like the way, what it does to the ad-libs. So let's hear that with the track.
On my wrist with the gas, froze on nigga, hypothermia on the neck. Never had shit, so you know how to flex. With a coach to a fucking private jet. Got an AP and a Patek. Keep a bad wolf full of mess.
Perfect. And you see how those were just sitting just right under the vocal, just in their own little space, sounding perfect. So yeah, that is this song. And I hope you guys fucked with it, honestly. Hope you guys learned something. And if you have any questions, my Instagram is Pink Blanco. No spaces or no capitals. Definitely just DM me, and I will 100% DM you guys back with any questions that you guys have. So I hope you learned something in this part 2 mixing course. Peace.